So we are discussing a new chapter, symmetry and conservation laws. The reference book is V.K. Tangappan. Okay. So we usually
Okay, sir.
deal in physics with a lot of variables, especially dynamical variables. In mechanics, we predict the value of dynamical variables by equations of motion. By knowing the present value of variables, dynamical variables, apply equation of motion, then you find the future values of dynamical variables. Okay, dynamical variables are linear momentum, angular momentum, energy, etc. These are all known as dynamical variables. Okay, during some kind of motion or process, some physical observables remains constant. Okay, they do not change with the time. So they are known as constants of motion. And these constants of motion actually given by the conservation laws. Okay, conserved means constant. They are constant. They remains same. That is conserved. That is the meaning of conserved. So what is the actual reason for that? Why these observables remains constant? That is the question, basic question. Okay. So we actually we know that even mass is a variable in when we deal with relativistic mechanics. Okay, in special theory of relativity, mass, length, time, everything is variable. Depending upon the speed of the moving particle, it gets changed. But now we are dealing with non-relativistic mechanics. Here, particles are moving slower, so no problem of relativity comes. We are dealing with the non-relativistic quantum mechanics. So even in that, some quantities can change, some will remains as constant, and we are going to check what is the basic reason for constancy of motion, constancy of variables during a motion. And examples are so I will write this idea here. The physical observables, this is what we actually measure, or we call it as the expectation values. Physical observables, when they do not change with the time, we call them as constants of motion. And why these are constants? They are actually that is due to some conservation laws. We know that conservation laws in physics are very important, like conservation of momentum, conservation of energy, conservation of angular momentum, etc. These are all important laws in physics, some of the fundamental things. And now what are the examples for these constants? Now you consider an example. Consider a free particle. And for that, linear momentum is a constant. We have discussed this in the morning. For a free particle, linear momentum is a constant. Okay. Now another example, a particle in a spherical, symmetrical, potential or field, what happens? Linear momentum is a variable. Here, linear momentum is varying, but angular momentum is a constant. Okay, so these are some of the examples. We have discussed this in the morning in detail. Now we are going to show that here linear momentum is constant, here angular momentum is constant. So the constancy of the observables is actually due to the invariance of Hamiltonian under some symmetry operations. So we are going to show that. We can easily show that. So the system will have a Hamiltonian. Now you do perform a symmetry transformation on Hamiltonian. Hamiltonian becomes invariant. No change for the Hamiltonian. So that implies constancy of some observables. That is the idea. And before that, before showing that, let us discuss about some of the symmetry operations. Okay. So symmetry, actually there are two types of symmetry. One is geometrical symmetry and another is dynamical symmetry or internal symmetry. I will first explain what is meant by this. Then we will try to prove that invariance of Hamiltonian. So geometrical symmetry, I think you have already learned in group theory. We take a cubical shape container, fix an axis, rotate through 90 degree, it becomes symmetric, again rotate through 90 degree, so that 180 degree rotation, again it becomes symmetric. So each 90 degree rotation about an axis, the cube becomes symmetric. Cube assumes the original state, original shape. Why the cube assumes symmetry? Or this is known as when you perform like on a cube, that is known as a rotational symmetry. You are rotating the cube about an axis. Now another operation is translation. You just take a body and move it along some axis through a distance without any rotation. That is known as translation. So if initially if it was some x equal to 5, now it is x equal to 6 or 7, like that. So the body is displaced through about an axis, one dimensionally or two dimensionally or three dimensionally you can move. So the body does not change its state. The body is in the same shape, does not have any change. Then we call the body possess translation symmetry. Okay. So two kind of symmetry we have now learned. One is translation symmetry, another is rotation symmetry. Now another operation is that of reflection. So you look into a mirror, so your mirror image looks almost similar, same. Okay. So if it is same, we call it as mirror symmetry. That object possesses mirror symmetry, or we call it as parity operation. Parity x changes to minus x, like that. So these are the normal symmetry operations: rotation, translation, then inversion or reflection, like that. And actually, what is the reason for this? Fundamental reason for this symmetry, existence of symmetry, is actually it can be connected with the uh, properties of space and time. Okay, we know that wave function is a function of x and t, or space x, y, z and t. So x, y, z means space, Cartesian space or whatever space, then t for time. So actually this space and time has some unique properties, very special properties. So actually the symmetry in these operations, you can connect with the property of space and time. What are those properties? Those properties, you might have heard, space is homogeneous and time is also homogeneous. So space and time are homogeneous. That means you keep a body at 5 centimeter, or you just translate it to 7 centimeter. So space at both places are same. If space is different, the system behaves differently, may behave differently. So the space has same properties everywhere. Okay, at 5 centimeter, space is same. So the body looks in some way. And at 7 centimeter also, space is same, homogeneous. So the body, if you moved to 7 centimeter, the body looks the same. Okay. So the fundamental reason for this symmetry is, one is this one, homogeneity in space, and another is, oh, I will write all this, homogeneity in time. That means, so I will write this here. Something is wrong. Okay. So we have two types of symmetries. One is a geometrical symmetry, and another is, second one is dynamical symmetry. That we will explain later. So what is the reason for this geometrical symmetry? That is due to the homogeneity of space and time. Homogeneity of space and time. So I explained the homogeneity of space. Space has same property everywhere. Okay. Similarly, time also homogeneous. Okay. So if you do an experiment, hello, if you do an experiment today, you will get some result, and you do the same experiment tomorrow, that means you did a time translation. Okay. So you get the same result. If you do the same experiment in the same way, you should get the same result. Then we say that time is also homogeneous. Okay. So this idea should be very concrete in your mind. Then many of your superstitions will go. Okay. So some people say some Rahu Kalam is there, Yamaganda Kalam, like that. They afraid. They will perform the marriage at some muhurtam. Okay, but as per scientific method, all the time are same. There is no muhurtam. Okay, if muhurtam is there, if one instant is anyhow different from another instant, you are violating this rule. That is, time is homogeneous. Okay, so you are violating science. If you say some other 12 o'clock is the best time, no best time. All the time are same, homogeneous. Okay, also space is also same. No space is bad, no other space is good, like that. Because we can't say that. All the space are same property. That is one of our fundamental assumption. Okay, so one reason is homogeneity of space and time. So these symmetry operations, we can connect with this homogeneity of space and time. Okay, so due to this, you can see that the Hamiltonian, capital H, is invariant, means no change, under translation in space and time. If you do translation in space and time, there is no change for the Hamiltonian. Since space is homogeneous and time is homogeneous. And a third property of space is not third property, second property. So first property is homogeneity of space. Second property of space is isotropy. Isotropy of space means space looks same in all directions. Take your position as origin and you look into the space in any direction. Space has no difference. All direction space is same. In all directions space is same. That is known as isotropy of space. So some people believe that when you pray, you have to look in some direction, but that is against science. Science says all directions are same. Some people say while you sleep, you have to sleep in some direction, east, west, or like that. Some believe that you should not lie in the north-south direction. These are all wrong. Okay, because space is same in all directions. So isotropy of space. There are many superstitions like the Earth's magnetic field will affect our blood because blood contains the hemoglobin. Then it has some iron content, like that. So Earth's magnetic field will affect our blood flow, and we should sleep in the east-west direction, like that. But that is a superstition. Lot of people give publicity to that. That is pseudoscience. Actually, no preferred direction. And one more thing is that the magnetic field of Earth is very, very small. 0.3, we know that is BH. BH and BV we know. BH is 0.38 into 10 to the power of -4 Tesla. That is a very, very small, weak magnetic field. Actually, it is 0.00038 Tesla. 4, 0 and 3. Okay. That is very, very weak magnetic field. That will not affect any of how our blood flow or anything, because while you go for the taking the MRI scanning, the magnetic field in that room is around some I don't know exactly, some 50 Tesla like that, or 5 Tesla or 50 Tesla, I don't remember exactly. So very high magnetic field, 5 Tesla. Actually, our Earth's magnetic field is 0.000038, 40 and 38, very, very small. So these are some superstitions, whatever it is. So this is one of the another property of space, isotropy of space. Okay, so that leads to the rotational invariance. Okay, so due to this isotropy, when you rotate, you direction changes, but it looks same. So that is symmetry in rotation, rotational symmetry. That is due to the isotropy of space. Okay. Now we will show that so I will conclude the various symmetry operations. One is symbol, one is translation. Okay. Another one is rotation. Another one is inversion. These are the symmetry operations, or we generally say geometrical symmetry operations. These are some physical rotations. Physically, you have to perform all these. Okay. Now another second one is dynamical symmetry. B. B is dynamical symmetry, or it is also known as internal symmetry. Okay. So what is this dynamical symmetry? This is not due to any physical process. Okay, we don't have to physically do anything. See, if some values are same, we say that it is symmetry, because that is why it is same. So we know that in the case of angular momentum, for a particular L value, we have 2L plus 1 M values. Okay. So all these 2L plus 1 values are same M value. So we say that that is the dynamical symmetry. That is due to the dynamical symmetry. So all the M values are same. Sorry, not all the not the M values. All the L values are same. For a particular L value or J value, we have 2L plus 1 or 2J plus 1 M values. That we have already studied in angular momentum. So all the many states have same value for of L, M value is different. So all the if L values are same, that means due to the dynamical symmetry, or we call it as internal symmetry. Okay. So I think that idea is clear. What is geometrical symmetry and what is dynamical symmetry? In symmetry comes in two types. Okay, this is actually due to some physical process, rotation, translation. You have to perform. You can perform this, but this you don't have to anything. It is inherent in the system. So degeneracy or something like that. Degeneracy is due to symmetry. So See, all the m values are same degenerate L value, same L value. So degenerate state. So degeneracy is due to actually symmetry. Which is symmetry? Dynamical symmetry or internal symmetry. Not due to any external operation, rotation or like that. It is inherent in the inherent symmetry, or we call it as internal symmetry or dynamical symmetry. Okay. Now we will show that the Hamiltonian becomes invariant under a symmetry operation. Then what happens to the value of the observable? I already told that the observable remains constant. So we can easily show that. We have the equation of motion for the operators. In the first chapter, we have learned the equation of motion. So that is d by dt of expectation of A, operator A, dA by dt, d by dt of expectation A. We are measuring A, the expectation value of A. What is the time variation of expectation value? We know that it is 1 by IH cross 1 by IH cross expectation value of
Commutation bracket.
The commutation bracket A and H plus A dou A by dou T term is there, that you can neglect if there is no explicit time dependence. So we are neglecting that term. Only in the case of explicit time dependence you have to consider. So in normal cases you can write it the equation of motion like this. Okay. So when this is 0, when d by dt of expectation A is 0, what is the meaning of that one? That means expectation of A is a constant. dA by dt is 0 means A is a constant. So when left side is 0, right side is also 0. So expectation value of commutation AH is 0, or you can say commutation AH is 0. That implies, what is the meaning? A commutes with the H, Hamiltonian. Operator commutes with the Hamiltonian. Okay. So we can, what is the idea obtained from this? So if an operator is operator or its expectation value, or we can say an observable instead of operator, let's say observable. Let observable. Okay. If an observable is constant of motion conserved, what is the meaning? It will commute with the Hamiltonian. Okay, this is the idea. Simple idea. Take the equation of motion, put it as 0, then commutation is 0. That means that is observable is a constant. So if an observable is constant of motion, it will commute with the Hamiltonian. Okay. So let us assume that A is a constant of motion. Okay. So assume that A is a constant of motion. Now we know that for every corresponding to every Hermitian operator, we can construct a unitary operator. Okay, that we have already learned. Corresponding to, assume that A is a Hermitian operator. So corresponding to A, we can have a unitary operator, U. So every Hermitian operator generates a unitary operation. So you can call it as U. So I will continue this after 5 minutes because it is already 40 minutes. Okay.